back to another patient man chat, going for a walk on the beach. This one's a really, really big one for me because I've got people in my life that are that age, even people my age, men in general, really, let's be honest. Why do we avoid going to the doctors as men? And why do we wait until it's too late? Me personally, I can only really comment on my own personal opinion, but being young and having a big ego for me was that typical, I'm a man, I don't want to be seen as vulnerable. You know, I'm young, nothing will hurt me. The typical old male conversations we all have. But really, it's just so important to just even get the basics checked. I have, just started seeing a integrated doctor after so long of, I wouldn't say ignoring doctors, but I've always trained, I've done exercise and always looked a certain way, and I just assumed that everything was okay, which is fine in its own right. But by being brave, and I took that plunge into understanding that, there's nothing wrong, there's no weakness in asking if there's anything wrong with me, or if there's any issues that are underlying that I mightn't be able to perceive. And it became something I was really interested in, obviously doing an exercise science degree, or a Bachelor of Exercise Physiology. I have a newfound love for science as well. Now, I do understand that science it's not everything. It has its own place, and it's not the Bible. It's not exactly what's truth all the time. Sometimes how you feel can be different, but it's a really good way to understand, to have measures and work through things. I would have never found out in a million years if I hadn't have been brave enough to go to the doctor and realise that, I need to focus on my health. I would have never have known that I had hemochromatosis. Now, hemochromatosis is the body's lack of ability to be able to stop absorption of iron. Now, iron's really, really, it's a great mineral, but it also, in high amounts, stores in organs, stresses out your liver, inflammation markers, and really throws all the rest of your body out homeostatically. Now, like I said, I didn't realise I had this, and I didn't realise I had the genetic markers for it. So at the time I actually went to go see the doctor, I was doing a carnivore diet because I thought to myself, oh, well, I feel good on carnivore diet. Makes me feel flat and so on and so forth. And here I go into the doctors and he tells me that I have a problem with absorbing iron, or too much iron, and I can't regulate it, and I've been eating meat only, and that's it, for the last 6 months. So just by being brave and questioning yourself, and also being curious, is really, really important, I believe, as a man. I'm on the journey in the process of getting my homeostatic balance back. I am trying to work on getting all of my inflammation markers back down because my liver was inflamed. I potentially, that could have been stored. It can store in your testicles. It's potential to cause infertility in men. So it's a really interesting way of looking at how, just by having a look into it, sometimes you can really change. And I perceived that I was healthy. I felt fine. And the one thing my amazing doctor said to me, he goes, "How do you feel?" I said, "Yeah, I feel really good. I've got heaps of energy." And he goes, "Well, how do you know you feel amazing? Because you've got nothing to measure it off. You just know what you know. And I was like, wow. And that blew my mind. And I respect him so much for that, for making me realize that not everything that we perceive is what it is. Sometimes we can make things up, or our body can adapt and also tell another story. So I'm on the mend, I'm doing really well, and I'm super proud of what I've done. But why don't we go there? Why don't men go to the doctors? Why? Is it the fear of finding out something you don't want to know? Maybe. Is it the fear of maybe, is it like I'm inadequate because something doesn't work, or I'm going to be seen as different? Maybe. What for you? Do you feel like if you're someone who avoids seeing the doctor, or, sort of puts your health to the side, what's something that you feel like, why do you do that? What's the purpose behind that? Do you feel like it's a little bit deeper than just, I can't be bothered, or I haven't got time? Because at the end of the day, we're all going to die one day. That's just understandable. But how good do you want your health span to be? You know, would you rather live to 80 years of age with a health span of a 50-year-old and feel so healthy and then just have a heart attack? Or would you rather live to 100 with horrible poor health span and a long lifespan, but have a really low quality of life? That's something you've got to ask yourself. For me personally, quality. I really want to have quality. I want to be around the people I love, and I want to be present. I don't want to be frustrated and chronically ill. And that's my decision. Some people mightn't have the same beliefs as me, and that's okay. I'm not judging them for that. So yeah, just one to think about. One to think about for men. It's a really, 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 really strong and prevalent subject for men and men's health. So the question I'm going to ask for today: when was the last time you had a full checkup, and what story are you telling yourself that's stopping you from going? When was the last time you actually put yourself first as a man? We're a provider. We look after our families. We look after loved ones. We're a provider. We are so influential in the family dynamic, yet we always put ourselves last. I know it's noble to do that, and men are tough and we can get through it, which we are. We do. We have a great mentality, but it's also detrimental for our own health and our own life. So I implore you dearly that if you've ever doubted to go to the doctor and find something out, be brave, because if you can get on top of it now, you can be there for your loved ones for longer. You can give them better quality, and you can give yourself better quality. And experience. You want to experience life as it is through a lens of health, or reasonable health. So ask yourself that question. When was the last time you got yourself a full checkup at the doctor's? And if there is any limiting factors for you to go there, are those reasons real? Do you see them as real? Or is that your mind convincing you that you don't need to do anything for yourself? Because I can tell you right now that 90% of men, in my eyes, in my opinion, would come up with a very good excuse to not go. Because we've got a very good talent of doing that. But I love men. I love everything about what we do and what we stand for. But we need to take back our power, and we need to start taking our health serious, not just for ourselves, for everyone around us. When the man is present and as healthy as he can be and focuses on himself, it might seem like it's selfish, but it's actually not. You're doing the work for the people around you, because that is also really, really important. So think about that one. Leave it in the comments below. and we will. I'd love to respond to a few things and love to hear a few opinions of other people. I'll just show you a quick snippet of my little beach today. It's beautiful. And then life is beautiful, life is worth it, you are worth it, and you need to believe in that. You are definitely worth the time and effort that you put in. I'm proud of you all. Keep moving through the world and being that loving presence that you need to be.